Hello, good morning, good noon, good afternoon, and good evening everyone. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Bear Show. And today we'll have a comparison of these two kits right here, which is your Daban and your Bandai Uraven Gundam. So before we start, can you guess where is the Daban here and where is the Bandai? Okay. Let's see if you can get if where's the Daban and the Bandai. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And where's the Bandai and where's the Daban? And the answer is this is the Daban and this is your Bandai. Okay, so as usual, we will compare them by parts so that we can really see the difference of each parts of these kits. Okay, so the same as usual, from head to toe to backpack to extra equipments and weapons, so that we can really see the difference of these kits. So we will focus on the designs and aesthetics for the difference. Okay, so now let's start from the head. Let's go. Okay, so now let's start in the head and let's see the difference of these two kits right here. This is your Daban and this is your Bandai. So let's see the difference. Again, we will focus on the designs and aesthetics of these two. Okay, so the first thing that I see, the difference of these two is the forehead camera right here. As you can see there, in your Bandai, I use these stickers. And in your Daban, I use the green metallic Gundam marker. As you can see, the scope of the head or in the camera or the forehead camera of the Daban is much more smaller than your Bandai. And maybe it's because of the stickers that we use here, which is more larger than the scope of the actual kit. Okay, and then another one is this gem on their forehead also, together with their V-fin, their extra V-finner or additional attachment of the V-fin. Okay, so the crystal here of your Bandai is like connecting with this violet V-fin right here, but in your Daban right here is so very deep that the crystal that or the gem that I use here, or the gem that the Daban used here, is much more smaller and it's more on the inside part. So let you see it. As you can see, there's still space right there, but in your Bandai it is sculpted equally that it a little bit of an millimeter it will be aligned with the violet V-fin. Okay, so that's one of the difference right there. And then next, I would like to make it tilted like that part, because as you can see, the sculpt here in your Bandai is much more detailed than your Daban right here. As you can see, there is an additional linings here, which I do some panel lines, but here in your Daban it doesn't have that one right here. So that's one of the difference that we have here also. So at this side, because we will now talk about the eyes here of your Bandai, I use that with the stickers because the stickers of the Bandai is really great. It's not crappy, but here in your Daban I use the green metallic marker of Gundam marker. So as you can see, the scope is very different. Okay, so I just follow the scope of the eye right here. Then in your Bandai use the stickers. Okay, then the face mask or the scope of the mask of this Bandai right here is very nice, which the white leveled up to the red part right there, and also the chin right here is very detailed and very right to the size of the chin right here, that red chin. Okay, but here in your Daban it's very slim, and that is because I sanded down right on that part, because the face mask here, the face sculpt right here, this white part, it doesn't fit and it keeps on popping out when I try to pull it. So the last thing that I need is to sand down a little bit, but as I said it, maybe it's too much on the side, but it's okay as long as the mask will fit in on that face. Okay, and then the last option for that is I use a cement so that it will stay in that part. Now let's check at the back part. Okay, so here in your Bandai, I use the stickers, and then in your Daban, I use the green metallic marker. The sculpt also is very different. Your Bandai is more pointy and edgy, but here in your Daban, it's a little bit rounded. You know that it is because of the mold defects or the mold difference of these two. So because the Bandai is much more detailed than your Daban. Okay, so let's try on the other side also. Let's see. Okay, so it's still the same with the other side. Okay, so that is the difference of the head of Daban and Bandai. So let's check out the other parts. Let's go. Okay, so now we have the torso and the chest part right here. So we'll have first the difference up above right here. So I think the sculpt, they have the same sculpt and it's okay, nothing different on this part right here. It's the same. The clear green part right here, and the same with your V2. Okay, as I remember that the V2 has this smoky clear green part, so the same with the Uraven right here, because this is the Daban. And as you can see here in your Bandai, the Bandai has more clear green right here, so it's very nice to see it. You can also see the edge of the clear green parts right here at the bottom, but in your Daban right here, it's very smoky because it's not so clear. And then we have also, I don't know if you can see it in my personal view right here. In your Bandai, it's very flat right here. It's a direct sculpt right here, but in your Daban right here, there is something line in this part which separates it from the other part right here. And then the connection right here, I will let you see it at the side so you can see the Bandai, the frame here, or the armor here, the violet armor really touches this side until the green part. But as you can see here in your Daban, there is still this white part here because of the fitting issues of the attaching of these armors right here. Okay, so let's go back at the front part, and then let's see more of the difference right here. The same, the Bandai has more edgy side here, and your Daban has more rounded right there. Okay, and also the white edgy part right here of the white, and in the Daban, rounded part. Now let's go at this side. Okay, there it is. So here in your Bandai, you can see there that it's very edgy and very exact shape to match here on the connecting part right here for the armor to be attached. But here in your Daban, as you can see, there is something molds that was not correctly at the shape of this part right here. So as you can see there, there is something not so edgy and very rounded part right there. Okay, it at the bottom right here, it's the same. Yep, the same. Okay, now let's go at the other side, or at the back of this chest and torso part. Now the backpack, the same part of the backpack, but the Daban right here, it has, I don't know if it's obvious in the camera, but right here, as I can see it in my personal view, there is something lying right there. I think it's the mold of the Daban, but here in your Bandai, it's very flat, so it's direct. Okay, and then the booster, the same also. Now let's go to the other side. The same at the other side also. That's the same difference. So the beam saber handles, edgy for the Bandai, but here in your Daban, it's very, I think it's rounded. Yep, it's very rounded. There are some edgy part, but still it's very rounded. Okay, so that's it, and I'm just a little bit amazed for this one because your Daban right now, not like with your Earth 3 and your V2 Daban, which this part right here is extending upward too much, which you can see the black part in the inside of this yellow part right here. But right now, as you can see in your Daban, it's a little bit pushing it through the inside part, just like the Bandai, but still there are some gaps. There are some visible gaps right there that you can still see the black part of that yellow part in the neck part right there. Okay, so that's the difference of the torso and the chest part. Now let's go to the next part. Okay, so now let's have the arms, and that is both the right arm right there. So I changed the angles because I can't make it stand. I don't have those clip stands. Okay, so now let's see what are the difference right here. I hope you can see it clearly. Let's make it more closer. Okay, right there. Okay, let's have that angle. Okay, so now let's have here first at the armor. Yep. So as you can see here, this is your Bandai and this is your Daban as usual places. Okay, so the sculpt is the same, but still again and again, the Bandai is much more sharper in your sculpt and edgy than your Daban. It's very obvious, and you can really see it in personal. Here, right here, the sculpt right here is very edgy, but here in your Daban, a little bit round. So it's not very the mold is not so specific on these edges. And then this part right here is the same also. Right here, the sculpt right here is also the same, so nothing changes. Right here, the joint parts right here, the Bandai is much more solid and much more on this right angle, but here in your Daban there's a little bit of awkwardness of that seam right here, but it's still okay. And then also right here, the same, it's edgy still. The Bandai is still edgy. That's the very nice part of Bandai, which is very edgy and very accurate to its designs and details. Okay, so that's it. Now let's change on the different angle. Let's make it stand like this so that we can see also. Right here, let's focus right here in the forearm. Now I can see the difference right there. And in your Bandai, it's still edgy. Here, rounded. Then this is the most obvious part right here, which is this part, which you can put some panelings right here, just like what I did in your Bandai. Here, as you can see, it's not edgy. It's more on circular, oval-like part. But right here in your Bandai, it's very edgy and very deep in your designs. Okay, so it's very nice to put some panelings. That's why I put panelings really here in this part. Now here in your knuckles, in the knuckle guard right here, or the hand guards, as you can see here, I put some panels right there, and you can really see the edgy parts of, or the edgy details of the Bandai, rather than your Daban, which is a little bit roundy and not so deep in details. Okay, so that's one of the difference of this part. Now let's turn it and flip it in this side right here. Right now you can see here at this side here, it's the same with the other part. Yep, it's the same. So now let's focus on this part here. These scopes right here, these are the scopes of your Uraven. So I hope we can see it here. So the designs are the same, panel lining opportunities are the same. It has those parts that can be panel lined. Also, I just put more panel lines here in your Bandai than your Daban, but still the designs and the paneling opportunities are the same, and I think there's no so much difference in these parts. So now let's go. I would like to hold now the parts right here. Okay, and that part, upper part. So not like with your Earth 3 and V2, and maybe also in your Mars 4 in the future, that here in the shoulders, this is your Daban, okay, and this is your Bandai, that the mold right here is just straight up, and the seam that you can only see is the connection right here. But right here right now, as you can see, the Daban has this edge also, which you can really put some panels over here, and also the same with your Bandai, okay. And they also have the same seams that you can see there. Okay. Oh, maybe someone will question what is that back part on the joint. That is a enamel paint that I use so that it will tighten the joints that that is an issue that I told already in my last vlog, which is the full review of the Daban's Uraven. Okay, so that is the technique that I use. I put some paints and let it dry and then try to put it on the joint, and then yep, it makes the joint more stronger and can hold the rifle in the correct position. Okay, so right here, okay, so we have another difference right there. So as you can see here, the Bandai has more deeper designs and details right there, which is there is a panel line here, than your Daban here, which is very shallow, and I can't really put my panel lines in correct part because of the shallow designs here. So that's why I just put the lines at the side. Okay, so then right here there's a little bit of stress mark here, but still okay. And the same, the Bandai has edgy and more deep design and details than your Daban. The hands, it's okay, but there is some mold, some not so deep mold defects right here. The Bandai has more this detailed design right here than your Daban. So I think that is for your arms of the Daban and the Bandai's comparison. Okay, so now let's go to the next part. Okay, so now let's have the legs. Okay, let's have the legs first. So this is both the right leg. Yep, that's both the right leg. Okay, so I use the right leg because the left leg of the Daban has that sticker for the Build Diverse Insenio. Okay, so now let's go to the difference of the Bandai and the Daban's leg of the Uraven Gundam. Okay, so here in your Bandai, as usual, Bandai has that very crisp and very detailed designs right there. So again, right here, it's the deep details of the Bandai, but here in your Daban it's very shallow. Here another circular detail or archy detail right here, but your Bandai has this very sharp and very edgy design. Right here, the panel line opportunity right here is a little bit small, but your Daban, as you can see right there, it's really big. So that's a great difference right there. Now let's go to the other side, which we can see some more details. Okay, so right there they have the same, and it's good Daban. So Daban is also edgy right here, pointy, the same with your Bandai. So nice one. But right here, the difference right here, it shows that this one is, the Bandai is more deeper than your Daban. Okay, so that's why the panel opportunity here is more clearer than your Daban right here. Okay, so the design over here, it's also okay. Nothing which is different. It's very nice. So Daban, that's okay. Now let's go to the other side, and that is the back of your leg and feet. So you can also see the feet of the core Gundam, which they have the same pattern of the seams right here also with your Daban. Okay, and still so edgy. So this part of the Daban is very nice because it has, I think, 90% of copying the Bandai. Okay, so right here, the same also. There's no so much difference. Okay, so yep, it's okay. This part right here, more edgy than your Daban. That's it. The circular details right here is also present from your Bandai to your Daban. Present also, but your Bandai is much more deeper in the details than your Daban right here. Okay, so that's it for the legs. Okay, no so much difference because as I told you in the vlog that the legs is very okay. That's a very nice part of the Daban, of the Uraven Gundam by Daban. Okay, so now let's go to the next part. Okay, so now let's differentiate or compare the waists of the Daban and the Bandai. Okay, so the same as you can see there are some black parts right there. Again, that's the paint I used to tighten the waist part. That is the ball joint for the waist part. So now let's go first to the skirt. The same with your Bandai, very crisp and very detailed design right there. So very deep, and maybe your Daban also has a deep part right here. So if I can put some panels, maybe it will just look alike with this Bandai right there. Okay, so the yellow part, the same, nice one. The Bandai's red part right here is a little bit edgy, but here in your Daban is the point is not so pointy, it's more curvy style. The panel opportunity at the bottom right here, this black part right here is more thinner than your Daban right here. This is the Daban, a larger gap right there for the panel opportunity. Okay, so let's make it to the other side. You can see it. Okay, so it's very nice that they have the same details right here. Here it's like an exhaust of the skirt right there, which very nice also. So it's the same. So let's go to the back skirt. Let's see if there is something different. So the details right here, there's a little bit of molding defect right here at the upper part here, but oh, another one. So the Bandai here is, again, it's thinner. The polyline opportunity here is thinner than your Daban, which is very large. Yep, this is very large. Okay, as you can see, I think maybe it's obvious in the camera. Yep, this is very large than your Bandai, which is very thin. Not so thin, but thinner than your Daban's details right here. Right here they have this same design, but this the Daban is a little bit larger than your Bandai. Okay, so that's it. That's for your waist, and just a little bit of difference. Okay, so now let's go to the next part. Okay, so now let's differentiate the shield, and also it can be a back skirt or an extension of the backpack. I see already some difference of this kit. The Daban right here, you have this extended panel line right here. I see I am the one who put that panel line, but without those panel line right here, it shows some bulging part right here, which signifies that there are some panel lines right here. So that's why I put something. And while building this one, I didn't look at the Bandai, which I saw now that the Bandai doesn't have that part, which is just an straight panel line right here, which also the Bandai has a thinner panel line opportunity here than your Daban, as you can see there. Okay, and then also right here, the Daban has a little bit of that double panel line here. I didn't cut that to make some new panel line opportunity. Okay, so and then another one here is in your yellow part, which is in the yellow part right here, as you can see in your Bandai. It's very clean, and it's only one line which you can fill it out of the panel line accents right there. But in your Daban, as you can see, it's a little bit larger gaps. That's why the panel line accents are spreading too much and not concentrating the black paints at the center also. So that's why it's a little bit fadey. Okay, so that's it. And then let's go to this part right here. It's very shallow. The designs right here is very shallow, not like with your Bandai right here, which you can really put the panel line opportunity in this part right here inside. But if you will just cut some panel line opportunities right here, you can really put that panel line also. Okay, so now let's go to this part right here. As I said, the Bandai is very edgy and sharp in designs, but in your Daban, it's a little bit of circular and arc and oval designs and details also. Okay, so stickers here, the sticker of the Bandai, it's very nice. Your Daban is a little bit I use it, but it's a little bit crappy, but it's okay. It's justifiable. That's why I use it. Okay, so now let's go to the side. So let's see if there is something different at the side also. Okay, so I think it's still the same. The red part right here, which has a panel opportunity. Again, it's thinner, it's much more better than your Daban, which is a little bit larger in the gaps. That's why it's the panel line accent is scattering at the side, and the black paints is not concentrating at the center of the panel line. Okay, so now let's go at the back part. Let's see if there's something different right here. But yes, it's still the same. So again, the same concern. Panel line opportunities is thin in your Bandai, but in your Daban it's larger in gaps. That's why it doesn't concentrate the black paints. Okay, so right here in your white part, oh, they have the same sculpt. Yep, yeah, they have the same sculpt also here at this part. Okay, now let's go back to the front. Okay, and this one also. Okay, so as again I told you that we will just talk about the details and the design and the aesthetics of this kit, but I would like to share it for you. So it's very easy to be detached. This red part right here, you know that it can be detached for the transformation, this part right here. But the Daban is a little bit tighter, which is very nice because it can stay more longer in the back skirt or in your backpack. But here in your Bandai it's a little bit shaky, especially this part right here. It moving right there. But in your Daban it stays, it's very tight. Okay, so that's for your shield, back skirts, and additional connection for your backpack. Okay, but obviously this is a shield. Okay, that's it. So now let's go to the next part. Okay, so now we'll have the last part. Yep, this will be the last part, and that is your beam rifle or the sniper rifle, because your Uraven Gundam is a sniping unit or a sniping, yep, a sniping Gundam. Okay, so here the weapons, there's so many difference right here, especially the seam lines and the stickers and also some details. Okay, so the same as usual, your Bandai is very deep and very accurate in detailing. So as you can see here, the Bandai has these seams, which is it can also be treated as part of the design, and also the stickers right here is very nice. So the details is very okay comparing to your Daban right here, which there are some shallow details that you can see that is it a part of the detail or just a mold defect, which also present in this part right here, which this part is very flat. But here you can see there are some lines right here, which is not part, because here in your Bandai it's flat, but here there are some lines, and I think that's a mold defect also. So the stickers is a little bit crappy and a little bit large for this part right here, but in your Bandai it's very nice. It's just the same size of the scope area right here. Okay, so here a little bit big, okay, a little bit larger than the part of this scope. Okay, so the part right here, the same. Also in this part, at the front part, yep, the same. Now let's go to the other side. Let's see if there are some difference. Okay, so this is your Bandai, this is your Daban again. So wow, so I can really see the difference right now. Let's have this first. Okay, so in this part right here in the Daban, I didn't put some panel line accents because I can see that the details of the panel line opportunities here is a little bit shallow, and I think the panel line accent will not stay in that spaces because it will just flow out of the panel line opportunities right there. So that's why I just move on and leave that like that. Okay, and as you can see here, it's not my fault to have this panel line accent right here that is very large and very broad, because the panel line opportunity of the Daban right here is very large in gaps. That's why the paint is spreading too much at the side and making it look like very broad, not like with your Bandai, which is very thin and very nice. It's like just a drawing that you just draw that lines right there. It's very clean that it has these very thin lines. Okay, So that's it for the rifle, and the movements is still the same also, or the articulation of the rifle, so nothing. So that's it. Okay, so let's combine them again, and let's just see if we can still see some difference of these kits. Let's go. Okay, so that is our comparison of Uraven Gundam from Daban model and Bandai. So it still depends on you on what kit do you want to buy, or you want both, just like me, which I have already the Bandai right here, but I still bought the Daban because I really want to see the difference and also what Daban can do, just to get enough closer to be like the Bandai right here. Okay, so there's still more planetary core systems that will coming out, so watch out for that because I will still get it and also review it to share this to you, these informations about these kits, so that you will be informed and you will know what you want to buy in the near future of these kits. Okay, so again, it still depends on you, on your perspective, if you really want some bootleg or you want some Bandai. Again, in bootleg, cheap, but there are cons and you need to find ways in order to fix that cons, or you will go to the original one, which is the Bandai, which is more higher in price, but you will have those very nice details and designs of the kit. But still, even it's original, there are still some cons on it, but just a little bit of that. Okay, so that's it for now. Thank you so much guys for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. Please continue to support and share this video for everyone. Okay, so guys, thank you so much. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and please hit that notification bell so that you'll be informed for my next videos. Okay, so again, Daban, Bandai, it depends on you, but still there are kits, there are gunpla, they're still good. Okay, bootleg or not, it's your hobby. Choose what you want. Be free. Okay, so good morning, good noon, good afternoon, and good evening, and good night. Jake De La Paz signing off. Gunpla Show signing off. So, Uraven, let's go. Oh, Uravens. Woo!